today is we're going to look on how we write these linear equations from a word problem. And guys, sometimes you'll be putting it in slope-intercept form. Sometimes you'll be putting it in standard form. Sometimes you'll be putting it in point-slope form. You'll be putting it in different ways here. Okay? So we're going to kind of try to talk through these so we can identify which ones. So guys, just a reminder, what is my slope-intercept form? Y equals mx plus b. Are you guys good with that? So guys, you use this slope-intercept form. You use this when you are given a rate of change, which is your what? That's your m, and a starting point. Okay? So, and that will be your b or your y-intercept. Okay? That will be your b or your y-intercept. Now, guys, sometimes they might say initial value. Sometimes they might say something at the beginning. But, guys, if you're given a starting point, then that usually is going to be your y-intercept. Okay? So, in this, guys, in these problems, we are going to be writing an equation first, and then we're going to be solving for x. All right? So, what I want us to do is we're going to identify what do we have for our rate. Evan is going to the county fair this weekend. Yay. The admission to the fair is $5, and the cost per ride is 50 cents. Okay, so this is where we're going to get our equation from. This is our equation sentence. All right? And then this tells us if his parents gave him 20 bucks, write and solve a linear equation to find how many rides he can go on. So this is what we're going to use to solve it at the end, okay? So out of these two things, what is going to be my slope in this situation? Which one is the rate? 50 cents. If you guys see something with the per, that's a huge key word that we're talking about, rate. So the cost per ride is 50 cents. So I'm going to write that as 0.50. Are you guys good with that? Okay. And then my y-intercept, the starting point, how much does it cost just to get in to the fair? $5. So that's like the initial value. Okay, your base salary, your cost to show up, anything like that. So that's going to be 5. So my equation that I would write in this case would have been y equals 0.50x plus 5. Now, do I really need to add the 0 in there? No, but I like it because it's like 50 cents and it makes me remember that it's cents. Okay, guys? So this is my equation. Do y'all feel good about that? Now, it says if his parents gave him 20 bucks, write and solve a linear equation to find how many rides he can go on. So, guys, this $20 up here, we are going to be plugging this in for our y. Okay? So we're going to rewrite our equation as 20 equals 0.50x plus 5. Do y'all feel good about that? Now, can we solve this equation? Absolutely. So we're going to go here. We're going to subtract 5 from both sides. And we are going to get 15 equals 0.50x. I'm going to divide by 50 cents here. And how many rides do I get to go on before my money runs out? What's 15 divided by half? Or 15 divided by 0.5, y'all? It's 30, right? So 15 divided by 0.5 gives us 30. So that means that I get to go on 30 rides, which is actually like a lot of rides to go on. Okay? I guess maybe they're like little dinky carnival rides or county fair rides. Okay? So x equals 30 rides. Now, guys, when you are giving me an answer in a word problem, please give it to me in context. All right? So this one would be 30 rides. Do you guys feel good about that? Okay. So we are going to do one more where we do slope-intercept form. Okay? Now, I'm not going to lie. Most of your homework are these types of problems right here. So that's why we're doing 2 of them. Everybody else, we're just going to do 1. Okay? So while visiting Crimson Lake, Sally decided to go kayaking. Okay? So these rangers, they charge $8.50 per hour. Ooh, that's a magic word, isn't it? Per hour. Okay? In addition to $25 to a $25 deposit. So guys, if it's a deposit, that's going to be like our starting point to rent your kayak. Okay, so we're going to use these 2 guys to write our equation. Then it tells us if she rented the kayak from 11:30 until 2:30, write and solve a linear equation to find that total cost, okay? So how are we going to first write our equation? What is my slope? 8.5 or 850. We'll just say 8.5. You guys good with that? And then what is my y-intercept? What is the starting point? 25 bucks. Okay? Oops, not 250. Ooh, don't rent a kayak if it costs you $250. Okay? So that's just 25. So once we have our m and our b, can we write an equation? Yes. So our equation would be y equals 8.5x plus 25. Do y'all feel good about that? Okay. So now we want to write and solve a linear equation to find the total cost of this kayak. So guys, in here, are we being given our y variable or are we given our x variable? It says if she rents it from 11:30 until 2:30, how many hours does she rent the kayak? So she's going to rent this for 3 hours. So guys, that is going to be our x that we plug in. We're going to plug in 3 for the x right there, because we want to know what the total cost is. So this right here, we would say y is equal to 8.5, but not x. We're going to say 3 plus 25. And when we plug that in, we say, okay, cool. Y is equal to 50.5. But remember, what are we dealing with? It says to find the total cost. So the way that you would say this is you would say $50.50. Does that make sense, y'all? We want to actually give the context that it's in. Okay? So if you don't have enough room to add a little $sign in here, just rewrite it as $50.50. Y'all good? Okay. Awesome. So this is how you do it if you want to write in slope-intercept form. Okay? If you guys want to write in standard form, or if it's not really if you want to, it's if what's best. Let's talk about an equation, an example where we have to write it in standard form. Okay, guys. Well, remember, my standard form is AX plus BY equals what? C. Okay? So, guys, we use standard form when you're reading in an equation and you use this, you use standard form when a problem relates two different objects. Okay? And it's two different objects that have rates. All right? So there's usually two different rates and different things like that. Okay? So check this out. If we're relating two different objects, we are going to use standard form. Okay. So when we read this problem, it says Sam ordered 2 hamburgers and 3 hot dogs from a concession stand at a baseball game. His bill came to this amount. Okay, this is what we're going to use to write the equation. Then the second part, if hamburgers cost $5.25 each, write and solve a linear equation to find the cost of each hot dog. Cool. All right. So guys, we're going to look here. Sam ordered 2 hamburgers and 3 hot dogs from a concession stand. So we have 2 different objects that we're dealing with. Okay? So I'm going to name my X as my hamburgers. I'm going to name my Y as my hot dogs. There's not really any special reason I did that, but the hamburgers came first and X comes first. If you wanted to do it differently, that would be fine. If you wanted to call them H and D, that would be fine, okay? Or B and D, I guess. I don't know. Hamburger, a burger, and a dog, all right? You could do that. And then our C is going to be related to our total cost. So the total in this case was what? $19.05. Do y'all feel good about that? So if we are going to write an equation for this, how I would write this is I would say 2x plus what? 3y, because we bought 2 hamburgers and 3 hot dogs, and that is equal to $19.05. Do y'all feel good about that? So this is how we could write our equation. If we didn't know how much a hamburger costs, we don't know how much a hot dog costs, we can just write an equation right there, and that represents it for us. Okay? Now, but they do tell us something, don't they? What do they tell us? How much does a hamburger cost? $5.25. So my X is equal to $5.25. Do y'all feel good about that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to plug in my $5.25 for my X. I still don't know my Y, but now that I know my X, I can solve. So 2 times $5.25, that's going to be what? $10.50 plus 3y equals $19.05. I'm going to switch to black so I don't have to keep going back and forth. So I'm going to subtract $10.50 from both sides. Do y'all feel good about that? So we are left with 3y equals $8.55. So the 3 hot dogs cost $8.55. So now we divide by 3. And each hot dog costs what? $2.85. Okay? So I'd probably go over here and I'd write $2.85 would be my hot dogs. Does that make sense? Do y'all feel pretty good about this? All right? How are y'all feeling about these so far? Not too bad? Taking them and writing them? The hardest thing is going to be to like pick. Do I use slope intercept? Do I use standard? What do I use? Okay? Now there's another equation that we know, don't we? We know slope. We know standard. Well, guys, we also know point slope. Okay? So I'm not going to do this one with you guys. I'm going to let you guys do that on your own for practice. Okay? If you've already done it, that's awesome. Okay? I'll throw it up here so you guys can kind of see it. We'll look at it together here. Okay? I've already done it too. All right? So guys, check it out. For number 6, we're just going to look at it. Tickets at the school play cost $4 in advance, $5 at the door. Total ticket sales for the evening were $4.40. So, if we were going to write our equation, it would be 4x plus 5y equals $4.40. Because it was $4 for my advance ones and $5 for my door ones. And then they said if no tickets were sold at the door, cool, then your x is 0. So 4 times 0 plus 5y equals 440. So 440 divided by 5 was meant that we had 88 tickets that were sold at the door. Do you guys feel good about that? Do you guys see how we set that up when you have 2 different things that are related to each other? Do y'all have any questions about these standard form problems? Okay? Cuckoo. You guys want me to keep that up there another second? Awesome. Okay. Is it okay if I move on? Leave it another minute? It'll be nice to have a good weekend, won't it? A good long weekend. Alright guys, I'm going to move on. Cool? Alright, here we go. So we're going to talk about the next guy, okay, here? So, guys, sometimes you're not given the starting point. Sometimes you're given like a random point. So this is when we have to use our lovely point slope form. Do you guys remember this? Alright. If you don't remember it, it's on the board. But guys, yep, y minus, what is it? Y sub 1 equals am, it always takes me forever when I do all the different colors, times x minus your x sub 1. Okay? Let me write that guy in there. So this is your point slope form. Now guys, we use this point slope form. We use this when the problem gives you a point. It gives you a sample point. And that's usually written as this x sub 1, y sub 1, right? X sub 1, y sub 1. Okay, you doing okay? You got the hiccups? You need to go get some water? I have one. Okay. And it also gives you the rate of change. Okay? So if they give you that slope and they give you a point, then you have to use point slope form. Because if they give you a point that's not your starting point, then you can't use slope intercept. So we're going to have to use point slope. So let's look at number 9 here. Okay? At Eagle Bay, it costs $12 per hour to rent a canoe. Ooh, that per, what is that telling us? That's going to be our rate. Okay? So our M is going to be equal to 12. Do y'all feel good with that? Okay. Nate and his friends rented a canoe for 4 hours and they paid $68. Interesting. Write and solve a linear equation to find the cost to rent the canoe at 7 hours. So first, let's write an equation from this information. So what would my point be in this case, y'all? What would be my x value? Would it be 4 or would it be 68? 4. Okay? And your 68 would be the y value. But Miss Humanek, how do I decide which one is the y and which one is the x? Well, guys, here's a big lovely hint. If you have anything that has to do with time, time is always what? X. Time is always going to be your x. So if you have anything that has to do with time, it's going to be your x value. Okay? Usually your cost is associated with your y value. Alright? Your cost is usually associated with y, time is with x. Otherwise, you can think to yourself, which one is independent? Okay? If there's one that controls the other, then it's the independent variable. Okay? So now that we know this, can we write our equation? Y minus, what's my y1 value? 68 is equal to m, which is 12, times x minus my x value, which is 4. Do you guys feel good about that? So we can write a slope-intercept equation from this right here. Okay? Then we're going to go and we're going to solve it to put it into slope-intercept form. So 12 times x is 12x minus 48. So then we are going to add 68 to both sides, and we get y is equal to 12x plus 20. Do you guys feel good about that equation? Awesome. So from this equation, can you tell me what is my y-intercept? 20 bucks. So just to rent the canoe, the deposit is $20, isn't it? And then they pay $12 an hour on top of that. So that $20 is our flat rate fee. So then the next question asks, write and solve a linear equation to find the cost to rent the canoe for 7 hours. So if my x is equal to 7, what is my y? Well, let's find out. Y is equal to 12, not times x, but 12 times 7 plus 20. So now we're going to plug in that 7 there, and we get y is equal to, what is that, 84 plus 20. So that is 104, and I left enough space to put my little dollar sign. So it is $104. Do y'all feel good about that? 7 hours costs 104 bucks. That's a very long canoe ride. 7 hours in a canoe. That's like, I need 2 meals during that time. Okay, 2 meals on the water. Oof. All right. You guys feel good about that? Okay, we're not going to do the next one because this type 4, we're going to do a little more point slope. Okay. So guys, check it out. Sometimes you are given a point and a slope. Other times, you might just be given 2 points. So if you're just given 2 points, you have to first find the slope using your slope formula. Then you have to put it in point slope form using the point slope right there, okay? So first you find your slope, and then you find your 2 points right there. Okay, guys? Do you guys feel good about that? Awesome. Okay, so what we're going to do is let's go ahead. Okay, so the notes. Okay, so we use this when given 2 points, like x1, y1, x2, y2. So the first thing you do is you find the slope, and then you put it in point slope form and convert. All right, you guys feel okay with that? We're going to put in point slope form and convert. So guys, let's look at this. This one's interesting. Okay, first of all, this is such an outdated concept. Okay, to surf the internet for 15 minutes at an airport, it costs $4.05. Like, guys, we used to have to like pay individually for minutes and things like that. When I went overseas in 2009, and I worked with a nonprofit over there, and you would like go to internet cafes where you would like pay to use the internet in the cafe because you couldn't just get Wi-Fi anywhere. Like, it was very special. So you would like go into an internet cafe and sit down at one of their computers and use it. I feel like they're still in like old, like it's like they have them in like Jason Bourne movies and things like that. Anyway, but that was like 2009. That was not that long ago when we were doing that. When I was in high school, guys, we had to pay for individual text messages. Text messages were like 10 cents a pop. Okay? So when my brother would text the word K, my parents would get so mad because they were like, Jimmy, that's 10 cents for one letter. So it's like, now, isn't it so great that we don't do that anymore? Okay? So anyway, sidetrack. Ugh, yeah, you guys are like, yeah, you don't want to know what your text message, what your cell phone bills. Yeah, when they would get overcharged like $80 a month, and my parents would be super pissed. Anyway, okay, so to surf the internet for 15 minutes at an airport, it costs $4.05. For 40 minutes, it costs $5.80. So we want to write and solve a linear equation to see how much it costs for 1 hour. So guys, we're not given a rate. We're not given where it starts, but we are given one x point, right? At 15 minutes, how much does it cost? $4.05. So I'm going to write my point out right here. At 15 minutes, it costs $4.05. Are you guys good with that? Okay. But we also are given another point, aren't we? If I want to surf for 40 minutes, surfing the web, how much is that one going to cost me? $5.80. Okay, do you guys feel good about that? How I got my 2 points? Remember, time is always x. So guys, if I want to find my slope, can I do that now? Is it annoying because it has decimals in it? Yes. But can we do it? Absolutely. So let's see here. So we're going to have m is equal to $5.80 minus $4.05 over 40 minus 15. Are you guys good with that? So 580 minus 405, that's what, $1.75 over 40 minus 15 is 25. Ooh, I'm not that good. Okay, do I know that off the top of my head? $1.75 over 25. Is that 0.07? Is that right? Because 175 divided by 25 is 7. Okay, so my m is equal to 0.07. What does that mean? That's a rate. So that's the cost per what? Minute. So it's 7 cents a minute to surf the internet. Interesting. Okay? So now that we know our m, and now that we have a point, can we write an equation? Absolutely. Let's do it. So does it matter which point I pick? It does not. I'm going to pick the first one because those are smaller numbers. That's the only reason why. Okay? So we're going to say, okay, y minus 4.05 is equal to 0.07 x minus 15. Do y'all feel good about that? So then we are going to now solve for y. So that's 0.07x. 7 times 15 is what? 105. So that's what? Negative 1.05. Now we add 4.05 to both sides. So y is equal to 0.07x plus 3. Whew! Do y'all feel good about that? So what is my initial charge just for like connecting to the internet? $3, right? So I got $3 just to check to the internet, and then it's 7 cents a minute after that. So now we want to know how much does it cost for 1 hour. So for 1 hour, guys, what are we going to put in here? We are going to say, cool, y is equal to 0.07. Do I do times 1? What do I do at times? 60. Because 1 hour is 60 minutes. Very, very good. So 0.07 times 60 plus 3 equals, let's see here, all of that together. That'd be what, 420 plus 3. So that's $7.20. So for 1 hour of web surfing, it costs $7.20. Do y'all feel good about that? Okay, awesome. So what I want you guys to do now is on this next page, I want you guys to go, and there are 4 different types of equations here, okay? So you have to decide, how am I going to write this? Am I going to write it in standard form, slope-intercept form, or point-slope form, okay? And so, or do I need to do it with 2 points? So you guys get to decide which way you guys write that. So guys, I want y'all to work on 17, 18, 19, and 20 right now. And we will take a look at those guys together. I'm going to flash up the answers for the video here, and then they can pause it on this last page so they can check their answers, okay? And then you guys will be able to check it in just a second. So guys, I will leave this up here for the folks at home for just a minute, and then you guys, don't cheat, don't look. Try to do it on your own. You pick one, and maybe your neighbor picks another one, and you guys see if you guys are doing that right. So pick 2 problems on this back page, and then your neighbor picks 2 other ones, and then we'll see how we do. Okay?